sworn brothers, untouchable in battle, famous across the kingdom, and one day, one of them broke the oath. For 500 years, people have been arguing about whether he was the only one who got it right. It's early in the morning. 5 men from Sungai Duyung are up early, training together, fighting together, growing up together. They made an oath. Loyal in life, loyal in death. No betrayal, no abandonment. 5 brothers, one fate. Word reached the palace. The Sultan called them to Malacca. Within a few years, they were his personal guard, the most feared warriors in the kingdom. Pirates feared them. Foreign challengers were defeated and sent home humiliated. The brothers were not just soldiers, they were legend. Hang Tuah became the Laksamana, the admiral, the highest military rank in the Sultanate. The other 4 stood beside him. To understand what happens next, you need to understand the world they lived in. In the Melaka Sultanate, the Sultan's word was law, absolute, unquestionable. Loyalty to the Sultan was the highest virtue a man could possess, higher than family, higher than friendship, higher than truth. There was a word for this, Taat, absolute loyalty. A warrior who showed Taat to a just king was a hero. A warrior who broke Taat for any reason was finished, not just dead, erased. And in any palace, in any century, there are always people who hate to see other men rise. The 5 brothers had power. They had the Sultan's favor. The courtiers who lost out to them began to whisper. The accusation came suddenly. Hang Tuah, they whispered, was having an affair with a woman of the royal household. There was no proof. The Sultan, paranoid, believed it, and he did not call for a trial. He called for the Bendahara, his chief minister, Tun Perak, the wise old man who had served 3 sultans. The Sultan gave one order: have Hang Tuah executed. He took Hang Tuah out of the palace by night, hid him in a remote village deep in the jungle. Then he returned to the palace and reported that the execution had been carried out. The Sultan accepted the lie. The matter was closed, but the other 4 brothers did not know, and one of them was not going to accept it quietly. Hang Jebat believed his sworn brother had been murdered. The oath he had taken, Setia Sehidup Semati, demanded vengeance, and so Jebat broke the rule that had defined his entire life. He raised his hand against the Sultan. The man who had been the Sultanate's protector became its destroyer overnight. Within hours, he had taken the palace. Jebat held the palace alone. No army could dislodge him. The greatest warriors of the kingdom tried to enter. None returned. Is there anyone left who can stop him? The Bendahara had a choice. Keep his secret and let Jebat destroy everything, or confess his disobedience. He told the Sultan, Hang Tuah is alive. I hid him. Riders were sent into the jungle. Hang Tuah, exiled and presumed dead, was summoned back to the palace. One final order: kill Hang Jebat, the brother who was destroying the palace in the name of avenging him. The man who had taken the oath, Setia Sehidup Semati, was now being commanded to break it by the very king he had sworn the oath in service of. Tuah entered the palace alone. Jebat was waiting for him, the man he had thought was dead, the brother he had killed 100 men to avenge. They fought for 3 days. No food, no sleep, no quarter. Jebat was already wounded, already exhausted, already, in some sense, finished. In the final hour, Jebat asked Tuah one question. Why? Why are you fighting? Tuah's answer became one of the most famous lines in Malay history. I obey the command. Jebat answered with a line that has outlived them both. A just king is honored. A tyrant king is opposed. Then he fell, and Tuah killed him. Hang Jebat was buried as a traitor. No honors, no state mourning. Hang Tuah was reinstated as Laksamana, restored to glory, his name carved into the kingdom forever. The story should have ended there. It didn't. 500 years later, Malaysians are still arguing about it. Who was right? Hang Tuah, who chose loyalty above everything, even when the king he served was wrong, or Hang Jebat, who chose justice, even when it meant betraying the brotherhood that defined him. Taat or Adil, loyalty or justice. It is the oldest political question in this region, and the reason this story has lasted for 5 centuries isn't because we know the answer, it's because we don't. Modern films keep telling versions of this story. The original is still being argued about in classrooms, in coffee shops, in parliaments. 5 sworn brothers, 1 impossible question. That's why it lasts. This is the first long-form episode. If you want more like this, stories told properly, the way they deserve, subscribe. There are 500 more years of this region to get through.